I set the table for 6, candles flickered, food was steaming, and the glasses were lined up perfectly. I imagined laughter filling my little apartment, voices bouncing off the new walls. Instead, silence sat across from me. 6 empty chairs. My phone buzzed. A message from my mom. "We're at your sister's. Her place is beautiful. We'll come another time. Your apartment is, well, not great. Not great." That was her verdict. On my home, on me. I didn't cry. I just stared at the table, at the food cooling down, and let the stillness press into my bones. Then I heard a soft knock. My grandmother stood there, wrinkled hands, warm smile, walking stick tapping against the floor. She stepped inside, her eyes glowing like this place was a palace. She pressed a small box into my hands. "For your first home," she whispered. Inside was a vintage gold locket, delicate and priceless in meaning. It wasn't just jewelry. It was her way of saying, "I see you. You matter." That night, I posted a picture of the locket on my socials. No caption, just the locket resting in my palm. Within hours, it spread like wildfire. Friends, coworkers, even distant relatives commented, shared, admired, beautiful, timeless. What a gift. And then came the messages from my sister. It wasn't the first betrayal. Growing up, I was always the shadow, and she was the star. My parents adored her loudness, her flair, her polished perfection. I was the quiet one, the one nobody noticed. Her birthdays were huge events, mine were afterthoughts. My achievements got brushed aside, hers were magnified. If I bought a new dress, she wore it before I ever could. If I saved money, she found a way to spend it. I told myself it didn't matter, that someday they'd finally see me. That building my own life, my own home would turn their heads. But on the night of my housewarming when they chose her over me, I understood the truth, I never would, unless I forced them to. Her first text after I posted the locket was casual. "Where did you get that? It looks expensive." I didn't reply. The second came sharper. "Mom says you shouldn't flaunt gifts. People will think you're showing off. Delete it. You're embarrassing the family." I smiled to myself. The shift had begun, because what my sister hated most wasn't me being ignored. It was me being noticed. I planned carefully. First, I let the locket photo breathe. I posted nothing else, just silence, letting all the attention stay on that single image. Then a week later, I shared a photo of my apartment. Sunlight poured through the window, and the locket hung from the curtain rod. Caption, "Home." The comments blew up. "So cozy, so elegant. You've got style." And then whispers started. Relatives calling me, not her. Friends inviting me to gatherings, asking about my taste, my choices. Suddenly, the spotlight shifted, and my sister felt it. She texted again. "Why are people asking about your place? You live in a shoebox." I didn't reply. Then came her party. Not mine, hers. A family dinner, her usual stage for showing off. I walked in calm, deliberate, wearing the locket. People noticed instantly. Compliments poured in. Even relatives who usually ignored me leaned in, asking, "Where did you find something so exquisite?" I caught the tightening of her jaw, the forced smile. And when my mother reached for the locket saying, "It's beautiful. I've never seen you wear jewelry like this," I delivered the blade, soft but sharp. It was Grandma's gift. She said it belonged to someone who would truly cherish it. A heavy silence settled. Eyes turned to my grandmother, who nodded gently, confirming every word. My sister's smile cracked. My parents looked almost guilty, as if for the first time they realized what they had abandoned that night. That was when I knew I had turned the tide. Because revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet unraveling of someone's power. My sister thrived on being the chosen one, the admired one. But admiration is fragile. Once it shifts, it rarely comes back. I didn't need to scream. I didn't need to expose their cruelty. All I had to do was let the truth shine in silence. Later that night, she cornered me, her voice sharp as venom. "You think one stupid necklace makes you special?" I met her eyes, calm. "No. Respect makes me special. Something you'll never have." Her face flushed red. She turned away, but the damage was done. The family saw it. The balance had shifted. Now when I sit in my apartment, alone but no longer invisible, I run my fingers over that locket. Not because it's gold, not because it's beautiful, but because it's proof. The night they left me behind, I thought I was nothing. But my grandmother knew better. She gave me more than a gift. She gave me the weapon I needed. And I used it. I don't need their approval anymore. I don't crave their attention.